Hey everyone, this is Armored, and this is a battle that took place between HNB 59E, and then we had FLWs ANKD, and a lot of other strong teams. And UOD was, of course, the prominent team. And right now you can see Coco Bongo and Whiskey Dog basically going up in the middle of the map. Whiskey Dog and Coco Bongo are two strongest gamers or the two strongest players in the game right now. And a lot of people have been undermining Bodala, but let me show you that Bodala is being extensively used, right? Here you can see Bodala is being used with Marco by Whiskey Dog. A lot of other strong players, they use Bodala with Marco, Bodala with Miyamoto. It all depends upon what they want to use. But Bodala with Marco and then Bodala with Miyamoto, these are two common common pairings of this hero right now. And I believe this hero is being underestimated a lot. He is extremely tanky in the battlefield, and then if you want to use him for siege battles, then he's great as well. So right now the battlefield is being dominated by UOD. UOD were uh, very good in this Archipelago raid. They had the upper hand and they made sure to use their advantage to the maximum. Strong players like Venom, Cocobongo, then King Kong, Kong. She was also there, and they made sure to make their advantage count. So this was the battle in the middle. So a lot of skirmishes took place, a lot of fighting took place, and this is one of the fights that was taking place in the middle. So the purpose of showing you all these fights is for whoever is watching these fights, you need to watch these players. You need to watch these players and learn what they actually do in the battlefield, and what kind of hero pairings they are using, what kind of heroes they are targeting first. Of course, whenever you see these players, they are always going for the rider heroes or sniper heroes in the start. They will always target these heroes in the start, and after that they will move for the infantry. So infantry is always targeted in the last. So this was a fight for the scavengers, and basically the scavengers give you cement, and then they are of course utilized for building up your towers in this archipelago raid. So just for the sake of everyone's viewing, let's walk you down to day 2 and day 3 of the fights. Enjoy these fights, and then we'll talk about what took place in the village 8. That was a tremendous battle. 59E and then HNB were able to push around a lot, but UOD were able to secure the middle earlier, and then they made sure to make use of their advantage and then push out the remaining legions. So yeah, enjoy the fights and enjoy your time here as well. So after watching a couple of fights, here you can see on the top half, almost at checkpoint 6, we kept trying to move Crimson out of this battle arena because the checkpoints are comparatively easier to defend, and to take it back, it would have been terrible losses for Crimson as well, and they would have been shot out of this area because nothing would have been connecting them. But despite a number of attempts, we were unable to do so, and then we were holding on to a number of towers. Watson was garrisoning, we had Amethyst on the garrison, even Hans later on had to garrison. Like a number of players actually garrison, but 3 rallies, like imagine it. Like 3 rallies from the same legion on one tower, and then you have rallies on different towers from the side of green as well. So meanwhile, on the bottom half, they were fighting sometimes and then they were not fighting sometimes. So it was like 2 legions going again and again onto the towers of HNB, and then of course you had uh, some players from 59E helping out, like Amethyst was there, was there, a couple of strong players from Dr. Jekyll. Uh, like not the complete team. It seemed like they were taking some time off for this particular archipelago raid. So you're on the bottom half, I believe. Azure did try, but it was more like a half-hearted effort rather than going all out for the victory. On top of you have like 3 rallies on one tower, you have 3 rallies on another tower, and then you have a number of rallies on other towers as well. Like I was completely garrisoning everywhere and then only could join with maybe 1 or 2 squads, and even that was not possible due to joining the counter rallies again and again, like you can see here. So yeah, this was a very long drawn out battle. Like we fought for over 12 maybe 18 hours constantly. So this was the state of the game during this last archipelago raid. As you can see, Amethyst, I believe he has one of the strongest rider heroes in the game, and the speed of those heroes is unreal. He moves really fast, even on his infantry heroes. So here you can see complete chaos in the battlefield. Like 6 legions are going up against you, 3 rallies constantly onto your different towers. So this is just one tower that I can show you. There were a number of towers which were being rallied. So enjoy the fights, watch the show, have a good time. Let's meet you next month in another archipelago raid, and hopefully we can have a better action as well. So right here, Cocobongo and Mr. Hans, they started fighting. I was hoping that no one would show up, and initially nobody showed up, and they fought quite well. Like Cocobongo, he lost his lion pair, and then later on his Marco was also affected, and her Julia was about to die, but eventually other players showed up. But this would have been a legendary battle, and this just shows that Hans is actually really strong, and despite his best efforts, the number of players on the opposing side were too many for him to deal with actually. So there is a limit to what a single whale can do against like 8, 10, 20 whales. So yeah, you can see he goes into battle again and again, and then he has to go out. As soon as Hans battles, you have 20, maybe 25 squads straight away jumping onto him. So this is why we had a very tough archipelago raid. But of course we tried and we gave it our best shot. And despite the odds against us, despite the battlefield being completely in favor of the enemy, in the favor of Crimson, in the favor of Jade Legion. But yeah, you never give up. And later on, I had earlier uploaded a comeback attempt by us. I do watch that one out as well. We tried to make a comeback as well later on. So yeah, ultimately great fights, and it was a great learning experience as well. And see you guys in the next year for another archipelago raid.